Massive wildfire in Jefferson County, not under control. Homes evacuated, over a dozen fire departments responding. The latest developments live from the scene. Deadly school shooting in St. Louis, the attacker killed by police. A victim's description of the face-to-face meeting with the gunman. What we know right now.
The difference between polling locations and voting centers. I'm Ashley Godwin with where you will vote this election.
Beneficial rain and a few thunderstorms moving across Arkansas tonight. I'll give you the timing and when you can expect it at your house. That's coming up next.
And we begin tonight with breaking news. 2 large wildfires, one causing evacuations.
This is all happening in Jefferson County. Fire departments across the region are helping to respond to a situation that the forestry department told us is moving quickly.
THV11 Sarah Hovakowitz is live on the scene with what we're learning right now. Sarah, what can you tell us?
That's right, Craig and Faith. There are 2 fires in Jefferson County right now, but the bigger one is towards where we are off of Highway 54. They're saying this fire right now is about 2.5 miles long and narrow, and covering over 500 acres right now that it's burning. It burned so big that it actually caused some evacuations over in Pine Bluff. Now, only 3 evacuations right now, and firefighters actually worked to save one of the houses from being burned down. And right now, other people did evacuate voluntarily, but emergency services do not expect for there to be any more mandatory evacuations tonight. They are saying that they will still be working to control this fire, as it's not under control right now, for at least the next 24 to 36 hours. They're doing a couple things to try and keep this fire and subdue it. One of the tactics that they're using right now are using bulldozers on either end of the fire to kind of compress it in the middle and really try and bring it under control. They said it's hard to say when that control might come, but they are working. There are a lot of people working here right now. About 15 departments are all working to help each other out and control this fire. On my way here, it's so large I was able to smell smoke for miles away. You can still smell it here. You can see some of the smoke on the roads driving around here, so you're definitely going to want to be careful. Actually, we are in this field, which is a staging area for a lot of the different emergency services coming in and out, because off the highway where you can see some of those flames, there's not enough room for people who don't need to be there to be there. We're going to continue to have more information tonight, and I'll be staying here to bring you the latest. But for now, reporting in Jefferson County, Sarah Hovakowitz, THV11 News.
All right, Sarah, thank you. That leads us to Tom Brandon. And Tom, the winds aren't helping anything right now.
You know, take a look at this, Craig. The strongest core of winds through south central and central Arkansas. Pine Bluff with 18-mile-per-hour southerly winds. Last hour, 18 miles per hour, with wind gusts upwards of 25. So this area of yellow from roughly Camden through Pine Bluff, even Little Rock, the wind is up tonight. And you might be asking, when is that rain going to make it through Pine Bluff? Well, if it makes it there, it won't be till after midnight. That rain is having a tough time getting into the Little Rock area. Burn bans remain in effect for Jefferson County. Only a few counties in Arkansas are not under burn bans. I checked the page out, or checked the location out, to find out just how many other counties may have been lifted since the rain's been falling tonight. And the Forestry Commission has not removed any counties, not just yet. But we still have tonight to go, and even tomorrow morning as a storm system swings out of the way. Very little, if any, rain has fallen in Jefferson County this evening. We've had a few drops of rain in Little Rock, but heavier showers have been occurring over northwest, western, west central, and southwest Arkansas. And that's going to continue tonight. There's still a little risk of a strong to severe thunderstorm in southwest Arkansas. The rest of us will have a very slim risk of severe weather for tonight. We will talk about when that rain could arrive. I'm sure it would be helpful in Jefferson County. It'd be helpful in a lot of places here in Arkansas. We'll go over the timing in just a few moments.
Devastation in St. Louis after a rampaging school shooter kills 2 and injures 6 more. That gunman now also dead after being shot by police. We're hearing one student's description of a face-to-face encounter with the attacker. And as Naomi Ruckham reports, investigators are now combing through his car and home looking for clues to his motive.
Students fled their classrooms, arms raised high, after a gunman killed 2 people at Central Visual and Performing Arts High School in St. Louis.
I heard 4 gunshots. I also heard a scream, and then later on, when I was getting rushed out by St. Louis Police Department, I saw a dead body with blood everywhere.
Authorities say the gunman, a 19-year-old who graduated last year, had no prior criminal history. Officers engaged him 12 minutes after the active shooter call came in.
Everyone who survived here is going to take home trauma. Even the officers who responded here, and the firefighters and the paramedics who worked on people here.
Police Chief Michael Sachs said the doors to the school were locked, but didn't say how the gunman got inside.
The fact that the door did cause pause for the suspect, that bought us some time.
Freshman Raven Terry's friend came face to face with the gunman.
The shooter came to her and said, "You ready to die?" And just see her just screaming and crying, and it was just hurt me.
According to Education Week, there have been 40 school shootings this year that resulted in at least 1 injury or death. Scott Pullman's granddaughter texted him while in the school.
And it's just absurd that this happens over and over and over again. And we got to change something in this country.
Teacher Jean Kirch-Kutchka died at the hospital. Her family says she passionately raised money for diabetes research.
She was just the sweetest lady. She was always the sweetest lady.
A vigil was held Monday night for the victims. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
School officials say there were 7 security guards in the building at the time. The police chief says they appear to have been unarmed.
Early voting began today here in Arkansas, and on this first day of hitting the polls, we have a poll question for you. When do you plan on voting? Are you an early voter, or do you like to wait until Election Day? Weigh in on THV11.com/vote. And whenever you plan on casting your ballot, you need to show up at the right location, or depending on where you live, you might have multiple options for where to vote. THV11's Ashley Godwin finds out which counties are making the switch to a newer way of doing things.
More than half of Arkansas's counties now have voting centers, but there's a big difference between those and traditional polling locations.
61 counties in the state that do have vote centers.
A voting center is a place where any voter in the county can cast their ballot. A polling location is an assigned place where a county voter can cast their ballot. It's typically assigned based on proximity to where the voter lives. But the number of places to vote has gone down in Arkansas.
The logic behind it is, okay, well, you can go to any of them and vote. And it has upset some of the constituents because they used to vote down here at the little church. Now they may have to go to another location.
Saline County is one of the regions with only voting centers.
One of the reasons I did it is we had someone that was working on one end of the county and couldn't make it back to their precinct, by 7:30, so they didn't get to vote. Now that they can go to any of the vote centers around the county.
For early voting, there are 4 voting centers. For Election Day, there will be 22. Secretary Thurston says the reason some counties have not switched to voting centers is because of internet access.
You have to be communicating with the other polling site to know when a person votes. It's actually one of the most secure ways to know if someone has voted before. You can't vote twice. You can't go to this polling site and then bounce over here.
Pulaski County has a hybrid of voting centers and polling locations. During early voting, a registered voter can go to any of the 13 early voting locations to cast a ballot.
You can live in anywhere in the county and be able to go to all of those different locations to be able to vote. But we don't do that on Election Day.
That Tuesday, a person has to vote at their assigned polling location, a benefit Pulaski County Clerk Terry Hollingsworth says is great for voter access.
We want to make sure that we have enough precincts for the voters out there.
If you'd like to check where your voting location is, you can go to the Voter View website. We have that on THV11.com. At the Capitol, I'm Ashley Godwin, THV11 News.
All right, so where does our poll stand right now? Roughly 3/4 of you favor early voting. Another 1/4, you guys say that you'll wait until Election Day. You still have plenty of time to join the conversation on THV11.com/vote, and we'll have the final results for you tomorrow morning on Wake Up Central. Now, if you need a closer look at the races, issues, and candidates before you cast your vote, THV11 has you covered. You can find our comprehensive voter guide now on THV11.com. You can also text the word VOTE to 501-376-1111 and we'll send you the link.
Well, rain is in the forecast, taking its time getting here, though, over western Arkansas earlier today. We had a few sprinkles around dinner time, and now it's just hurry up and wait. That storm system will pull out tonight and provide a good part of the state with much needed rain. We'll have your forecast in just a moment.
We are live here in Jefferson County where there are two wildfires right now. The larger one is where we are in Jefferson County, and I'm here with Amy Lyman with the Arkansas Department of Agriculture Forestry Division. I know you've been here for a few hours really trying to control this fire. What do we need to know right now?
Right now, our forestry division staff are on site. They have dozers and they are working the lines. So they will stay on site 24, 36 hours to make sure everything is under control.
And I know that on top of those bulldozers, there are also fire departments here. There were other methods that were possibly used before. I know with the winds, that's definitely not helping. But what's happening right now? What kind of methods are being used to quell this fire?
Well, mostly right now it is the dozers. And so they continue to circle and draw lines around the fire.
And I understand that there were a few evacuations. There were a bunch of voluntary evacuations as well. But what's the risk right now moving forward?
Right now, they don't anticipate any additional evacuations. There were 3, but right now they don't anticipate any more.
And we do have about 15 different fire departments working right now to really control this fire. On top of the bulldozers, a lot of different methods going on to really try and keep this in control. But they're going to be here for a lot longer, right?
Yes, they will be here as long as needed. So at least 24 to 36 hours more.
All right, thank you so much, Amy. We will have more information as the night continues here on THV11. But for now, reporting in Jefferson County, Sarah Herbakowitz, THV11 News.
Yes, Sarah, I know they could use some rain, Jefferson County. We could use some rain over the entire state. We're off to a good start. We've got some rain in western Arkansas. Showers continue there. Just having a tough time pushing to the east. Over the next several days, we'll cool off. We will incorporate a few more rain days toward the weekend. But tonight and tomorrow, pretty good chance, especially in the morning hours. And then the wind's going to pick up out of the west. I hope that Jefferson County and southeast Arkansas gets at least some rain to help with those flames and to kind of help settle things down. We look forward to the end of the week and the weekend, and we will see yet another system. Looks like it's going to be a slow plotting system that will bring yet more chances of rain to the area. Showers and thunderstorms will continue tonight into tomorrow. It'll be windy tomorrow with showers ending during the early part of the afternoon. Behind the system, cooler air is going to be pulled in, and that wind is going to be up out of the west at about 15 to 25 with gusts at 35 miles per hour. Sunshine coming back on Wednesday in full force. I think we'll see a little bit tomorrow afternoon as the clouds begin to break up and depart. We had one wave of rainfall move through northwest and now north central Arkansas. The next is coming in from the Arklatex area. This has got a little more thunder with it. I think we'll probably hear some thunder tonight. We are not under any kind of watch yet here in Arkansas. I had anticipated that a part of southwest Arkansas may be placed under some type of watch before let's say midnight tonight, and that still might happen, but most of the activity has stayed out over Texas. There is a tornado watch box here, and this is where we'll find the frontal boundary. Fast moving system, upper level support, surface low. It's going to track to the east, and eventually this line is going to grow across the state later tonight into tomorrow. Now, in terms of having dynamics for severe weather, the best dynamics are in Texas and parts of Louisiana, but that doesn't mean we may not see a strong storm producing some pretty gusty winds. Here's that flare up of thunderstorms out ahead of that frontal boundary, and you can see right there those thunderstorms containing some pretty strong winds and even a few tornadoes. We've had tornado warnings in effect, that tornado watch box. Skies are cloudy. The rain has been very light as it's getting closer to central Arkansas. It's been heavier out over western areas, and the risk of severe weather tonight. Hasn't changed a whole lot. Still for the Arklatex with a very slim risk here. And again, we're talking about wind in excess of about 60 miles per hour or maybe some hail. Of course, you can't never rule out a tornado, but really the best likelihood of anything like that will be over Louisiana. Flash flooding can be a concern if the rain really gets going, especially over ground that's dry. You know, we talk about saturated ground that can't hold any more water. Well, the same holds true with ground that hasn't had any water. It's hard as a rock and the water is just going to flow off. This is tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock. System begins to pull into the state. By 6, 7 o'clock for your morning rush, it should be raining across central and a good part of eastern Arkansas. This is our upper level support swinging on through tomorrow afternoon and evening. Backside of it tomorrow afternoon, we may see some sunshine in western and southwestern Arkansas. When all is said and done, the potential for rainfall, possibly 1 to 3 inches over the northwest. Here in central Arkansas, anywhere from a half to an inch and a half to maybe even an inch of rainfall, and lesser amounts the farther southeast you travel. Temperatures cooling off with rain over the west, still rather mild here. We'll drop off to 61 tonight for a low with showers and storms becoming likely. 68 tomorrow, cooler, windy day with rain ending early in the day. And there's your extended forecast. We're going to be near average the next several days with temperatures only in the upper 60s to low 70s. Next rain chance coming up this weekend.
You know, sometimes taking your kid to get a haircut can be challenging, but that's especially true if they have sensory issues.
For one Bryant family, it took a few tries to find the right person to cut their son's hair. As THV11's Brooke Buckner shows us how children with special needs can come a long way if given the needed attention.
Sitting in the barber chair is a first for 7-year-old Blake Bacher.
He has vastly improved coming into the shop.
You can see here in this video from December, Blake didn't leave the floor or his mom's arms, but over time he's gotten more comfortable getting haircuts thanks to his barber Kyle Shin.
To know that all it took was for someone to say, I'm going to be patient, I'm going to take the time, I'm going to do what Blake needs and not worry about anything else, has been a game changer for us.
Bacher says it took a few bad salon experiences before she found Shin in Benton.
Little did we know that that first appointment was going to change our lives. Kyle is definitely all about meeting Blake where he's at. So if that means it's on the floor, it's by the door, wherever Blake needs to be, Kyle will follow him and cut his hair within the confines that Blake needs.
Even though it's not always easy, Shin says it's a rewarding process.
I have a lot of patience, and I just try to make him feel like he's okay.
Shin has experience helping children with special needs, and he says that's what prepared him for this.
I used to volunteer back when I was about 12 years old is when it started. It was a camp for special needs from the first year that I worked there. I knew it was a passion of mine.
He says the key to cutting Blake's hair is giving him the space he needs.
Kids can feel that energy coming off somebody, and they know if somebody is just trying to get them in and out, or if somebody really is taking time to help them and make sure that they're safe.
While Bacher says Shin changed their lives, he says Blake changed his.
All in all, at the end of the day, it's completely rewarding.
In Benton, Brooke Buckner, THV11 News.
Now, Bacher says they went from getting haircuts every 3 months to every 3 weeks.
That's what you call response.
Yeah.
And going to the barbershop more often has helped Blake feel more comfortable with the process.
I like that because, I mean, everybody does need their hair done. I can attest, you know, you want to feel your best. And so the fact that he can actually go from 3 months to 3 weeks, we love that for him. So
empathy takes time.
Yes.
You have to take time to realize what the other person is going through.
Yes.
That barber took the time to be empathetic and compassionate.
And we all need to do our part. So we all need to be more like him. So.
Ooh, man. Now we switch gears and go talk basketball, Sierra.
You know who has great hair? Anthony Black. You'll see him later in the highlights. The Razorback men's basketball team took on D2 Rogers State in an exhibition game. You'll see the highlights after this.
The THV11 Sports Desk, sponsored by your Central Arkansas Hyundai dealers.
The 10th ranked Arkansas men's basketball team played another college team under the lights for the first time this fall. Tonight, Arkansas welcomed Rogers State to the Palace. Musk getting 11 new guys on the floor for Arkansas. Trevin Brazil, 3 no good, but here comes former North Little Rock star Nick Smith to the rescue. He had the first 7 points for Arkansas. This time, another freshman from Central Arkansas does his thing. Former Morrilton standout Joseph Pinion makes it rain with a 3 that makes it 31-14. He led the Hogs with 15 points. Then we've got Smith to Anthony Black, who blacks out Rogers State with that slam, and Arkansas wins this one 83-49. Here's Muss.
It was better than last year, exhibition game. There's some areas we got to get better at for sure. It's turning the ball over, which was a problem overseas. Really happy with our ability to move the ball with 186 passes, not the 200 that we want. But I thought we did a great job of attacking the rim and drawing fouls. We rebounded the ball well defensively. We shot the ball well from 3.
All right, moving over to football. The Razorback football schedule might be harder than last year's, but Auburn might not be as hard to beat this year. In 2021, they had an experienced quarterback in Bo Nix. He's now at number 8 Oregon. And like Arkansas, Auburn only has 1 SEC win. Auburn's is only over Mizzou. Arkansas's is over number 25 South Carolina. With a healthy quarterback and a big win over BYU under Arkansas's belts, Coach Pittman hopes they can keep it going when they take on Auburn Saturday.
I think we're ready to try to make a run. We talk about it a lot. Of course, you got to win the next one to get on a run, especially late October, early November. It's a lot about the vibe of the team, where you're at injury-wise, what you really believe you can do, and what you want to do. I like where our team is. I think this is a big test for us.
And here's your reminder that Arkansas will take on Auburn at 11 a.m. on Saturday. That'll be on the SEC Network. And then the game time has been announced for the homecoming game on November 5th. The Hogs will host Liberty. That'll be at 3 p.m. on the SEC Network. Moving over to high school football, it's time to check out our sweetest plays of the week by Yarnell's. We've got Clarendon's Terrence Hampton. He intercepts Mark Tree's quarterback and returns it for the touchdown. It's a pick 6 for the Lions. Then let's head over to Sylvan Hills. The snap goes over El Dorado's Cooper Henry's head. He recovers and then fumbles, but the ball is scooped up by Chawan Smith from Sylvan Hills, and he returns that one for a touchdown. Now let's go over to Little Rock Mills. Comets quarterback Achilles Ringo pulls a KJ Jefferson and Superman's into the end zone. Boom for the touchdown. That wraps up our sweetest plays. You can vote on our website, THV11.com/sports. The winner gets a Yarnell's ice cream party, but polls close at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, so make sure to vote. We'll be right back.
For taking a leadership role in the name of emotional support and stability, Tabitha Childers is our Arkansan of the day. She helped organize the return of the Out of Darkness Walk yesterday. War Memorial Park became sacred ground as walkers raised over $70,000 to help with the suicide prevention helpline. Part of the funds will go to education and emotional support, and there was Tabitha out front, reminding us all that when it comes to a mental health crisis in our families, wherever, we are not alone. There are people who can help, and we saw those people walking yesterday. And I'm sure if Tabitha was here, she'd say they are all Arkansans of the day. Thank you.
About that. Showers and thunderstorms still in our forecast will occur overnight tonight and tomorrow morning when you wake up. That line could be moving through central Arkansas just in time for the rush. Let's hope that the rain falls and will help that fire situation down in Jefferson County.
Help us all. Need that rain.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see. We'll see if it comes, but hopefully not too severe. But
I hope not.
Yeah, hope not.
Okay. We've got a lot to look for tonight. Thanks for watching THV11 News.